So today on this um, Wednesday fish species, we're going to talk about one that was recommended by someone. And before we even start, I'll always do the little shout outs we do. So here's the channel. I don't think it's, I don't know if he really uploads any content, but definitely still subscribe or if you want to. But here's the channel. He recommended the fish for this week, so yeah, that's it. But today we're going to talk about one that one that I actually seen lately, and it was kind of funny that he recommended it because I was actually really interested in doing this fish for Wednesday. But before we, talk about that, yes, the tank is cloudy. It got that milky cloudiness again. I hope it's not doing what it did before. The only reason I know why it did it before is because I did a rescape, and I redid everything, the gravel, plants. I redid the entire tank, which obviously took away tons and tons of bacteria. So that was, I can get why that happened. But it's came back, and if you guys really know, if it's ever like just randomly popped up for you guys, you might want to tell me in the comments how you solved it. You could see in the video. I mean, I ain't gonna lie this time. It's bad. It's not hurting anything. It's just I don't like. Yeah, it just looks ugly. So I'm gonna try to fix that. It might be a month before it even fix itself again. I didn't do anything to it. I've been doing my normal maintenance, and it just randomly popped up like this one night. So that's that. But if you guys have any ideas, you can definitely put them in the comments. Today we're gonna talk about. I'm not sure exactly how everybody pronounces this, but well, there's the camera. I like to call it the mono Sebae or Sebae. That's how I would pronounce it. Just think of focus. But yeah, it's a really like angelfish type fish, I guess you could say. It's really triangular shaped. It's it's a black and white fish. It might have a little bit of yellow in it, maybe towards the top and stuff. But it's shaped like kind of like an arrow. It has black stripes going through its body. It got one through its eye. Very short fins. It doesn't have much fins at all. Mostly a big body. But they are a very, very large fish. They look tiny. They look like little angelfish on here, but they actually get up to 8 inches long. And which makes them, care level wise, it's going to be either moderate to, intermediate. And they're going to need a tank size, at least 100, 125. If you have a school of them, it's probably way better. Obviously, this is a schooling fish to get that out of the way. So you're probably wanting 6, 8 at the minimum. These do get very large, so I doubt like anybody would have a lot of them. But if you had maybe like a 400, 500 gallon, for some reason, yeah, you could definitely have a school of 12 to 15, maybe even 20, depending on what you have. But for the normal person, we all know that we probably, if somebody would have these, probably a minimum of a 6, if their tank is even big enough for that. But so yeah, so these fish, they're also known as the African, I guess African Mooney. That's something else they call them. Maybe in other areas, or that's just another common name for them. But they come from mangroves of like waters from like Africa and West Africa, in those regions. And yeah, like they said, they're diamond shaped. That's probably a better wording than diamond or triangle though. But they can be pretty aggressive though, especially toward other fish. Not so much towards each other. They're just like any other thing, just like a cichlid or a angelfish. There's gonna be some that just like to pick on others, and some of them will be perfectly fine with each other, some aren't. So you just kind of have to pick and choose if you buy a lot. But water conditions, this is one thing that people say it's fresh water, and it is kept in fresh water, but kind of over time, if you really want to get the most out of these fish, you might want to slowly change to a brackish, and then maybe slowly change to a saltwater. Not so much like a full-on saltwater, but add some salt to the water. At least there's stuff like cichlid salt, stuff like that. That we add a little bit of salt to the water, but over time you want to transition, over to a little salt, and that's just gonna help it, with the coloration and overall health of the fish over time. But this fish, it eats out in the wild. It eats large amounts of vegetables and stuff like that. So you want to try to mimic that, but obviously do your best. Provide them maybe with some dried seaweed, maybe some brine shrimp, and then your average pellet or flake food. So maybe a combination of those three. Maybe feed one on a Monday, maybe feed another on a Wednesday, maybe feed another on a Friday. Something like that. But if you want to know pH, maybe 7.2 to 8.4. The hardness 8 to 12. If any of you want to know that. But I think I would say the setup for this tank, definitely a plant tank if can. You want to provide plants, maybe some rocks, and a brackish water tank, and substrate. It probably really doesn't matter. Just whatever you need, whatever plants are keeping, whatever substrate they need. They're not. These fish don't really care what substrate. It's not like there's some bottom dweller or something. So substrate ain't gonna matter too much. It's mostly what you want. But yeah, so these fish they can get quite pricey depending on size. So expect to pay maybe $15 to maybe $20, somewhere in that range, a piece for these fish. So, and at that price, you might get them at 1.5 to 2 inches in size. So maybe even bigger. Maybe some local fish stores that have been growing them out. You might get a really big one, but it's probably going to cost you maybe double or triple of money. Obviously depending where you are. These fish might not be. These fish somewhere could be the neon tetras of aquariums for some reason. They could be super cheap somewhere and super expensive somewhere else. So, prices, change depending on where you're at and the stock list. But I guess again, I'll show you a quick picture of it. You got the long, big fin in the back, and then you got, the tail, and then that. But very cool fish. I like that you guys suggested that this week, so very cool one. So a little update. I might make a little video. Probably not, because usually updates don't get that much views, so I just don't really care. But the new tank is probably gonna be moved later on. Not very long, but the stand I'm building, it's fine, but I really didn't really want to use that stand no more for this tank. So I'm hoping to get a way bigger desk, like 5-6 feet, and for to set this new tank on, so I have a really big desk to work on and have a tank on. Cause I think that'd look way nicer than what I'm gonna have. But I would say that tank might start getting set up after Christmas, maybe January, February, maybe March at the most. But yeah, that's a little information about that. But it is coming. I'm not gonna not do it. It's definitely gonna happen. We're gonna try to make the best planet tank we possibly can. but it will happen. It just, it was gonna happen probably this month. Things got kind of in the way, so. But yeah, definitely be subscribed and get ready for that. But yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and if you want to suggest a fish for next week, definitely do that. Put that in the comments, and the first person to comment down will get their shout out for next Wednesday and their fish talked about. Also, that goes for the plants too. If you want to suggest a plant that we haven't done, then definitely do that. But other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.